Okay, let's talk about what is probably the single biggest, most life-altering decision you are ever going to make. Who you marry, it's a partnership. That can either make your life incredible or slowly, piece by piece, destroy it. So today we're diving into a really critical explainer on 5 personality types you should absolutely never, ever marry. Let's get into it. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to set the stakes. You know what you need to think about? Before you even get close to saying, I do, then we'll break down the partners who drain you, the ones who stall you, and the partner who tries to own you. And we'll wrap it all up with a few really important questions you need to ask yourself. All right? Let's just be super clear right from the start. This isn't about little pet peeves or minor quirks, no. No, we're talking about identifying these deep, fundamental incompatibilities that can completely derail a lifelong commitment before it even gets off the ground. Now, how many people fall into this trap? You see the red flags, you see the chaos, but you tell yourself this, it's such a hopeful thought, right? This idea that signing a piece of paper will somehow fix these really deep-seated issues. But our source has a pretty blunt answer to that idea. And there it is that just says it all. Doesn't it? The problems you see before the wedding? They don't just vanish, they get magnified, they level up. Under the pressure and permanence of marriage, the patterns you're seeing right now, well, that's the reality you're signing up for. So let's move into our first category of partners. These are the ones who, instead of adding to your life, just consistently take away from it, depleting your energy, your peace, and your emotional reserves. First up, we have the project. Oh man, this is the person you feel this powerful, almost heroic urge to save. You see their potential, you see their broken pieces, and you think, I can fix them, but what you're really signing up for is, in a partnership, it's a full-time rescue mission. And you can see right away how this just isn't sustainable. You end up basically dragging them through life, becoming their parent instead of their equal. All of your energy is flowing out of you and into them, with almost nothing coming back. It is a one-way ticket to burnout. And this quote from our source just hits the nail on the head. You just can't build a life with someone who isn't already doing the work to build themselves. Love is powerful for sure, but it can't magically create stability where there is none. Okay, next up in this draining category is the walking time bomb. And listen, this isn't about having passionate arguments. This is about someone with a zero emotional regulation. This is the person whose explosive reactions make you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells. When you live like this, your home, the one place that should be your sanctuary, it stops being a safe space. It becomes this psychological minefield where every word, every move feels risky. And that constant cycle of explosion, a half-hearted apology and then back to tension, it never ever leads to real change. All right, let's shift gears to the next group. Partners who actively hold you back. Now they might not be explosive, but they create a different kind of problem, a stagnation that's just as damaging to your future. So first, we've got the professional victim. This is the person who has a PhD in making sure nothing is ever their fault. They have an excuse for everything, and that excuse always points a finger at someone else. A crazy ex, a jealous friend, a terrible boss, and guess what? Eventually, that finger points at you. The really insidious thing here is how it messes with your own head. You actually start apologizing for things you didn't even do just to stop the conflict. You make yourself smaller and smaller to fit into their narrative, and any chance of a real connection just dies. And that's just the brutal truth of it. You can't solve problems with a person who refuses to even acknowledge that they're part of the problem. A healthy partnership needs 2 people who can look at each other and say, you know what? That was my fault, I'll do better. So the other partner who stalls you is the lazy dreamer. We've all met this person. They're full of these grand, amazing plans. They're going to start a business, write a book, get in the best shape of their life, but it's always starting next week or next year. The action just never happens. And that's it right there. That's the whole story. They're in love with the idea of success, but they have zero interest in the hard work and discipline it takes to get there. So if you're an ambitious person, guess who ends up carrying the entire weight of the relationship? Yep, you do. Now we get to what might be the most subtle and, honestly, the most dangerous archetype of all. This is the partner who doesn't just drain you or stall you, they actively try to own you. This is the secret controller. Here's the thing you have to understand. Control almost never shows up looking like control. At first, it's disguised as caring. It sounds like I just worry about you. Or why do you need to see them? Don't you have enough fun with me? But slowly, step by step, they chip away at your friends, your hobbies, your independence, until your world has shrunk to include only them. The takeaway here is so simple, but it is so profound. Real partnership, real love celebrates your independence. It encourages it. It doesn't try to snuff out your friendships or your identity. A person who does that doesn't want to love you. They want to possess you, okay? So after running through all of these pretty difficult archetypes, let's make this useful for you. Let's turn this into an actionable tool. The source gives us a really simple checklist of questions to help you look at your own relationship. With total clarity, this is the first and, honestly, the most important question, just at a gut level. Does being with this person feel like a safe harbor? Or does it feel like a constant storm? Trust me, your nervous system already knows the answer. Next, think about your personal energy. A great partner should make you feel more energized, more motivated, more capable of taking on the world. They shouldn't feel like a heavy weight that you're constantly having to carry around. And finally, this question gets right to the heart of emotional maturity. Can this person own their mistakes and actually grow from them, or is every single difficult conversation just a dead end, street of blame and defensiveness? We're going to end with this one, because it's just so powerful. It is so easy to fall in love with the idea of who a person could be one day. But a successful marriage isn't built on potential. It's built on the reality of who they are right now. Day in and day out, their patterns of behavior, that is the most honest predictor of your future together, so please choose wisely.